Hello, my name is Simon and here is the Cooking Beginner's Guide to get started in the kitchen. So, what does a beginner need in cooking? I went through the process 10 years ago when I started learning how to cook, and now I will share with you. Okay, but first something about me. My name is Simon, I have a degree in economics, I do business in public relations, and I'm passionate about cooking and digital marketing in my free time. I come from Europe, Slovenia. Slovenia is a country where you meet Alps, so we have mountains, we have the seaside, and of course a lot of great food, wine, and of course beer. So, where is Slovenia anyway? In the center of Europe. We are located between Austria, Italy, and Croatia. We are at the heart of what's happening, where the best culinary ingredients of Europe grow. So, are you still amazed by my love of cuisine? I am not. Okay, let's go. First thing you will most certainly need as a new cook are good recipes. Believe me, once you learn how to cook some essential dishes, you will no longer need recipes for them. But for starters, I recommend that you stick to them carefully. You need specialized recipes for beginners. Those recipes use inexpensive ingredients, everyday gadgets and techniques not intended for professionals in kitchen. A good source of this kind of recipes is this YouTube channel you are watching now and our website recipe24.com. In addition, I also recommend most of Jamie Oliver's recipes. I admit I learned a lot with his help of his recipes. So why not? Try it. Okay, now let's go to main gadgets you have to buy, or maybe you already have them. The first one is a chef's knife. Yes, the knife. You need a good kitchen knife. The knife should be regular sized with a plastic handle, and also buy a sharpener with two discs of metal where the blades slide in between. A good knife is actually the most essential accessory, so you must have it. This is also why chefs, the big chefs, usually carry their knife with them when they visit different kitchens. But okay, there are so many knives. You have Japanese knife, you have German knives, you have all kinds of knives. Okay, which one to choose? First rule, don't overdo it with the price. Don't also buy a very cheap or a very expensive knife. That's not needed at the moment. You should buy something in the range between $80 and maybe $120. For that money you'll get a great quality professional kitchen's knife which will serve you for a decade or two or more. I personally use knives mostly from the German manufacturer Wusthof. The size should be from 6 to 8 inches, but you have to try that knife. Before you buy it, go to the shop, grab a knife, touch it, you must feel it in your hand, in your palms, and try to use it. Because it is very important that you feel comfortable using that knife. It will accompany you for the next years in kitchen, so you must be a really good friend with that knife. Don't rush, don't buy it online, or if you want, you can still return it, but I strongly suggest you that you go to the shop and try it yourself. Okay, the next utensil is a set of cutting boards. Get a synthetic plastic board, thick enough cutting board to allow you to use it comfortably. Choose different sizes. This will allow you to cut, slice and chop without messing up your table or your countertop. Okay, you might be tempted by a wooden board, a fancy, nice wooden board. Let me remind you that the wooden board absorbs the tastes and smells of the food you cut on it much faster, and it is much harder to clean, to get that smell out of it, you know. It is really challenging to keep it clean. So if you have wooden board, buy many and use them for different kinds of food. One should be, I don't know, for vegetables or fruits, the second one for meat and so on. But in the beginning I strongly suggest you buy plastic. Also, you might think about metal or glass cutting boards. They are not optimal at this stage. They, of course, look stylish and great, but are not really necessary, especially for someone who just starts cooking. One important part of your armory in kitchen will be the kitchen scale, because there are so many things in recipes you have to weigh, you have to measure, especially when you're baking or making desserts. So you need a quality, reliable and cheap kitchen scale. I suggest you buy electronic kitchen scale, I don't know, on Amazon Basic or something like that. They're very affordable, they last for a year or two before you have to change that cheap battery, button battery, and they're also very accurate and easy to clean. So really nothing to think about. Just buy one and use it, and that's it. Also, you will need a set of spatula. A flat wooden spatula or spoon is a multi-purpose tool for stirring, pushing the elements on the cutting board, lifting stuff, etc. Choose a wooden spatula as it does not transmit heat like a metal. You can leave it in a boiling pan with no risk of burns. If you leave there, I don't know, metal spoon or fork, you will get burned. The second choice is plastic spatula, plastic or wooden, anything will go. Also keep in mind that this kind of utensil probably won't damage your non-stick coating on your pan, because that can be damaged quite fast, quite easy when using metal utensils, so you have to be careful. That can be not good for your health. So be careful with spatula. Buy just a set of spatulas and use them, and that's it. They're cheap. Also, very useful part of your kitchen will be vegetable peeler. You know, you have there a lot of potatoes, apples and so on, carrots, and you have to peel that skin off. So you can use your knife and invest more time, more effort, throw more away, but it is usually better to buy a vegetable peeler. And think about it, almost every dish requires some kind of preparation of vegetables or fruits. Peeling is a tedious task and really should be made easier. There are a lot more fun things you can do in kitchen than peeling, so be comfortable, love yourself, buy a peeler. Okay, now here we are, the dishes and pans. I believe you already have a few. Try to use what you already have on hand first. Don't throw everything away because you're starting cooking. Just check what you have and try to use that. With the help of your experience, only then analyze what does not suit you or what else or more you need. For beginners, I recommend 1 or 2 pans and maybe some wok with Teflon non-stick coating, because it is easier to cook on such coating. After, when you have practice, you will probably move away from Teflon and use classic dishes without Teflon, but at the beginning try to use Teflon. But be careful not to damage it with sharp tools. This is also why you should buy plastic or wooden spatula. With a metal spoon or fork you can damage, or the knife, the Teflon coating. Such a pan is for the trash, because Teflon is not good for your health when the pan is damaged. Regarding the dishes, make sure they will work on your stove. If you have gas, there's no problem, everything works there. But if you have an induction, however, the pan must operate on this type of stove. So when you're buying a pan or dish, just turn it around and check the back side. There should be an inscription induction, a pictogram and the inscription written induction. So that tells you that this kind of dish or pan works on your induction stove. You don't want to buy really costly dishes. Also, don't forget a few essential baking trays for the oven, and also a solid metal pan. And one more suggestion, you'll be thankful for that. Buy a Dutch oven. This is a nice metal dish with a lid, so you can use it on the stove or in the oven. It has many uses. You can even bake pizza or bread in it. It is amazing. It can be quite costly, a few $100s and up, but it can also be cheap in, I don't know, range up to $50. So maybe you should decide, regarding your budget. I personally bought an expensive Dutch oven from some, I don't know, French producer, manufacturer. They claim it should last for decades. Okay, nice, but yes, I invested, but I also tried more cheap one and he delivered the same results. So I don't know. Decide for yourself, just buy it, and I think even that for $50 will create really wonderful food for you. So that's it for today. This is part one of our useful guides on how to get started in the kitchen. Next time I'll cover some more about knives. So you should know more about knives because it will accompany you all the time in the kitchen. But that's for now, and stay tuned, like us, subscribe to this channel if you want to follow everything we do, and also all the easy recipes for the beginners. But just one last word from me, no worries, I didn't know how to cook. I'm not a professional cook, but in last decade I created 2 web portals with recipes, one in Slovenian, this one is for international audience, and I personally cooked around 1,500 recipes and tried all of them many times, and I succeeded somehow. So if I could do that without any real guidance from professionals and so on, believe me, you can also. I will help you. So stay tuned and have a nice day. Bye.